Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about the Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships. We talked about the 6th to 10th place finishers and also two other people to put the spotlight on. And we are now going to be putting another spotlight on someone else in the soccer world. We're going to be talking about this 13-year-old soccer prodigy. Her name is Mckenna Whitham. So we're just going to get, right into this. This is like a very interesting segment we're doing here because it is spotlighting someone who, this is different. She's not in the professional league yet, but she is definitely going to be very soon. Okay, so Mckenna Whitham, sorry. Right now, she is preparing to turn pro, as many other kids her age are preparing for high school. She's the youngest person right now to sign a name, image, and likeness contract with Nike, and the youngest to play for the NWSL club. Back in February during her preseason, she actually scored a goal with Gotham FC, which made her the youngest player to score for the NWSL. She says that she has always wanted to go pro, and high school hasn't really been much of a thought since soccer is like her main priority. Right now, Mckenna Whitham practices with the Santa Clarita Blue Heat at College of the Canyons. This team is a highly regarded summer pro-am club whose alumni include World Cup veterans Savannah DeMello, Alyssa Thompson, Laura Sesselman, and Ashley Sanchez, and reigning NWSL Rookie of the Year Jenna Neiswanger. Kennedy Fuller is 17 years old and plays for the Angel City FC and was the second youngest person to sign for this club. As someone who went pro at a really young age, she sort of understands how Whitham might feel. Her advice to Whitham is to be patient, which is, not always easy in this situation. Specifically, Fuller said, it's super important that she thinks about putting herself in the best environment possible, whether that's playing up a couple of years, whether that's playing with boys, whether that's playing with professional training, professional teams, whatever that may be. Putting herself in the best environment possible is what's going to eventually help her be the best version of herself. Whitham is doing just that. She's playing with the US U15 team, so she's playing up a couple of years. And then also she's been training with the LAFC's Boys Academy team. Tomorrow, she's expected to make her debut with the Santa Clarita Blue Heat. It's pretty new that Whitham is dreaming of becoming a professional soccer player at 13 years old. Until 2021, the NWSL required women to be at least 18 years old to play in the league. This was an issue for the famous, iconic player Olivia Moultrie, who is now 18, but she signed with the Wasserman Media Group, US Soccer's most powerful soccer agency, and then accepted a multi-year endorsement deal with Nike and an offer to train with the NWSL Portland Thorns when she was much younger. But after moving to Oregon with her family, the league told her that she had to wait to play a couple of years until playing in an official match. And then Moultrie sued, and the courts eventually agreed that the NWSL was in violation of antitrust rules. So before the 2022 NWSL season started, Commissioner Jessica Berman pushed through a mechanism for signing players under 18 years old, opening the doors not just for Moultrie, but for other rising stars such as Chloe Ricketts, Melanie Borsinas, and Jaden Shaw. A lot of the rookies we see this year are actually under the age of 18, and they are killing it out on the field. And if this issue wasn't changed, we wouldn't see them, which would be a huge different league and year season. Jill Illes, who coached the U.S. women's team to 2 World Cup titles before becoming president of the San Diego Wave, said, it's incredibly important that we have a domestic pathway for those special players that want to take the next step. It was a rarity a few years ago to have teenagers in the pro ranks. To see the evolution and opportunities now for our best young talent is amazing. So, now back to the Whithams. They moved from the San Francisco Bay Area to Southern California last summer because of her soccer opportunities, such as her chance to play for the Blue Heat and the Slammers FC, which is an elite youth program in Orange County. Whitham's father said, my job is to make sure that as long as she's having fun and if she wants to do it, that she has the opportunity to do it, then it's up to her to prove herself. All I care about is that she's following her dreams and that she wants to do it. My goal is just to be here to support her. Her father says that he doesn't push her daughter to train and that the motivation is purely from her. Whitham also is really mature for her age, clearly, and she is very responsible, so she has been homeschooled, so I think she will be able to adjust to a more professional soccer career. And then a little fun fact here, her father, Josh Whitham, was a young Olympic athlete. At 15 years old, he was the youngest member of the U.S. Olympic ski team, ranking as high as 40th in the world and making the roster for the 1998 Olympics as an alternate before he was out of high school. So her father has that experience of being a young athlete, and I think it's great that he can advise her in this situation. Her father also said, "We have these conversations, but my job is shifting to more of an advisor and just to make sure I'm here to talk about everything. The experiences she's living right now, you can never replace those no matter what you do. In regular life, you cannot replace going to Europe, being with the teams, having the interaction with those players. We do worry about those things. All I care is that she's following her dreams and we'll be here to support her. And if that dream changes, then it changes." Right now, that dream is to sign a professional contract. Bersinas became the young player in NWSL history when she signed with the Wave last season at 15 years old and 138 days. Whitham, who has now continued to train with Gotham, the reigning NWSL champion, as well as NWSL clubs in Kansas City and Washington, won't turn 15 for another 14 months. Mckenna Whitham's journey into the pro soccer world at just 13 is nothing short of amazing, and it's really shaking up the way we think about young talent in sports. She's not only making waves by signing big deals with Nike and scoring goals in preseason games for Gotham, but she's also turning the old rule book and on its head about how young is too young for pro sports, all that. Honestly, the whole thing is kind of a game changer. It's like, remember when gymnasts and tennis stars were hitting the big leagues super young? Now soccer's catching up and it's pretty cool to see, but there's always that nagging worry about whether it's all too much too soon. Are we going to see a burnout, or is she missing out on normal kid stuff? Yet seeing McKenna's dad being super supportive but not pushy gives me hope that they are handling it the right way. He's been there for her. As a young Olympian himself, he knows the ropes and seems to be the perfect guide through this wild ride for her. Her training does sound very intense and super smart at the same time. Playing with older teams, even training with boys and mixing it up with pro teams, that's how you level up. Kennedy's Fuller's advice to stay patient and find the right environment hit homes too for her. It's like she's saying, take your time, find your groove, and the rest will follow. It's good advice because it's not just about pushing limits physically, but also about making sure Mckenna Whitham can grow into her potential at her own pace. And we have to mention that this could have been so different just a couple of years back, with Olivia Moultrie having to sue to play because of age rules. It's wild that I'm about to say WNBA. That's crazy. The NWSL had to be pushed to let younger players in, and now thanks to some rule changes, we're seeing these incredible young players stepping into the spotlights way sooner. Jill Illis, she summed it up perfectly when she talked about the importance of creating a pathway for these special young talents. It's not just about letting them play, it's about nurturing them, giving them opportunities to shine without burning out. And the fact that McKenna's family moved just to give her better soccer opportunities shows how committed they are. It's not every day you see that level of dedication, so I'm really hoping that McKenna's debut with the Santa Clarita Blue Heat is just the start of a long and successful career. With her talent and support I'd say she's got a real shot at changing the game for good. I'm excited to see how this goes. I think she's going to make a huge impact in the world of soccer, especially considering that she is 13 years old right now. She will be turning, I said it was 14 months, if I'm remembering correctly, 14 months till she will be turning 15, so I think that would be a better time for her to start going pro. 13 does seem a little bit young. I played soccer for more than 15 years, and I don't think that I could have imagined not even being in high school yet and going pro. I don't think I could handle that, especially because you are literally going to be going against people who are twice your age. That's insane. I don't think I could do that, but clearly Mckenna Whitham's a lot stronger than I am, and clearly she is already performing like a pro in soccer. I think this will be very good for her. I think this will be interesting. And I'm excited to keep updated with how she goes, how her journey is, and everything. So that concludes the show for today. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned into the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports podcast, presented to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again, and have a wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad